Hi, myself DN Verma. Welcome to my channel Biology by Verma Sir. Today I am going to describe different types of cells. Cells have been basically divided into prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. But there is also a cell which contains the characters in between pro and eukaryotic cell. So I shall describe three types of cells: prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, and mesokaryotic cell, which contains the characters of some characters of eukaryotic cells and some characters of prokaryotic cells. So what is prokaryotic cell? Prokaryotic cell, pro means primitive and karyon means nucleus. Prokaryotic means cells having primitive type of nucleus. So character of prokaryotic cell, the first character is prokaryotic cells have incipient nucleus called nucleoid. There is no well developed nucleus like eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells have nucleus having four components, but here is no nucleus, only single circular DNA in place of nucleus. Hence it is called incipient nucleus or nucleoid. The second character of prokaryotic cell is prokaryotic cells have DNA which is single and circular. That is, prokaryotic cells contain single circular DNA. The third character of prokaryotic cell is prokaryotic cells lack histone protein. In eukaryotic cell, we will describe this histone protein combines with DNA to form chromatin fiber, but in prokaryotic cell, this histone protein is lacking. Histone protein is absent. The next character is all the membranous cell organelles are absent in prokaryotic cells. Mitochondria, Golgi, ER, lysosome, all the membranous cell organelles. The cell organelles which contain membranes are absent in prokaryotic cells. Ribosomes are present, but the type of ribosome is 70S type. Ribosomes are of 70S type. The function of mitochondria is performed by mesosome. What is mesosome? Mesosome is the folding of plasma membrane which performs the function of mitochondria in prokaryotic cell. Plasma membrane of prokaryotic cells also fold like lamellae called photosynthetic lamella, and this photosynthetic lamella perform the function of chloroplast. So photosynthetic lamella are present which perform the function of chloroplast. So cell is primitive type, nucleus is not present. In place of nucleus there is single circular DNA, histone protein is absent, all the membranous cell organelles are absent. Ribosome is of 70S type. The function of mitochondria and chloroplast is performed by the folding of plasma membrane called mesosome and photosynthetic lamella respectively. These are the characters of prokaryotic cells. Now we will study the characters of eukaryotic cells. Eu means modern and karyon means nucleus. Cells having well developed nucleus are called eukaryotic cells. So the characters of eukaryotic cells are: the nucleus of eukaryotic cell is well developed in comparison to the prokaryotic cells. That is, the nucleus of eukaryotic cells are made up of four components. That is, nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm. Third one is nucleolus, a small spherical structure present inside the nucleus, and chromatin fibers. Chromatin fibers. So the nucleus of eukaryotic cell consists of four components: nuclear membrane, the boundary of the nucleus, which is double layered; nucleoplasm, the part of protoplasm present inside the nucleus; nucleolus, spherical, small rounded structure, spherical structure present inside the nucleus; and chromatin fibers, which condense during cell division and are known as chromosomes. The next one is in prokaryotic cell, the DNA was circular and single, but in eukaryotic cells, DNA is linear, not circular, and there are many DNA present in the chromatin fibers. So the DNA of eukaryotic cells are many in number and linear, not circular. Third one is histone protein is present in eukaryotic cell. Histone protein is present in eukaryotic cell. This histone protein combines with DNA to form nucleosomes, and the nucleosomes polymerize to form chromatin fibers. That is, histone is present in eukaryotic cells. Histone protein is present. All the membranous cell organelles, which were absent in prokaryotic cells are present in eukaryotic cells. That is, eukaryotic cells contain all the membranous cell organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, rhizosome, Golgi body, etc. Ribosomes are of ATS type. In prokaryotic cell, the ribosomes were 70S type. In eukaryotic cell, ribosomes are of ATS type. So the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells are: prokaryotic cells have incipient nucleus, whereas eukaryotic cells have well-developed nucleus made up of four components: nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, and chromatin fibers. Single circular DNA is present in prokaryotic cell, whereas many linear DNA are present in eukaryotic cell. Histone protein is absent in prokaryotic cells, whereas histone proteins are present in eukaryotic cells, which combine with DNA to form the chromatin fibers. All the membranous cell organelles are absent in prokaryotic cells. All the membranous cell organelles are present in prokaryotic cells. Ribosomes are of 70S type. Ribosomes are of 80S type. Now we will see the third type of cell, which is mesokaryotic cell. Mesokaryotic cell contains most of the characters of eukaryotic cells, but it lacks histone protein, which is a character of prokaryotic cells. Hence, such cells have been kept between pro and eu and are called mesokaryotic cells. Example of mesokaryotic cells is dinoflagellates. Unicellular organisms having large flagella are called dinoflagellates. So mesokaryotic cells lack histone protein, but all the characters of eukaryotic cells are present in mesokaryotic cells. Examples are dinoflagellates. Eukaryotic cells are further of three types: plant cells, animal cells, and fungal cells. So we will see the differences between plant and animal cells. Both are eukaryotic cells. What are differences between plant cell and animal cell, and what are differences between plant cell and fungal cell? Now we will see differences between plant cells and animal cell. We have seen that eukaryotic cells are basically of two types, plant cells and animal cells, but the third one is fungal cell, which have some differences from plant and animal cell and is also an eukaryotic cell. So first of all, we will see difference between plant cell and animal cell. Then we will see the difference between plant cell and fungal cell. The first difference between plant and animal cells is cell wall. The first character is cell wall. Cell wall is present in plant cells whereas absent in animal cells. Cell wall is a thick boundary outside the plasma membrane which is present in plant cells but absent in animal cells, because the outermost boundary of animal cells is plasma membrane. The second one is plastids. Plastids are of three types: chloroplast, leucoplast and chromoplast. So plastids, all the three types of plastids have their particular functions. These plastids are present in plant cells but absent in animal cells. But there is one exception. In animal cell, the exception is euglena. Euglena is a protozoa which contains chloroplast. Besides being animal cell, the cell contains a chloroplast. So, except euglena, animal cells lack plastids. The third character is presence of large sap-filled vacuole. Large sap-filled vacuoles are present in most of the plant cells, but large vacuoles are generally absent in animal cells. Animal cells have either very small vacuoles or no vacuoles. That is, vacuoles are either absent in animal cells, or if present, they are very small in size. The next character is centrosome. Centrosome is absent in plant cell, present in animal cell. Centrosome is made up of two centrioles, and centrosome is responsible for the formation of astral rays, spindle fibers, basal body, etc. The next one is lysosome. Lysosome is a single membrane bound vesicle which contains hydrolytic enzymes. The enzymes present in lysosome can digest almost all types of compounds, organic compounds present in the cell. So, lysosome is absent in plant cell. It is present in animal cells. The next one is microvilli. Microvilli is the finger-like projection of plasma membrane. Finger-like projection of plasma membrane found in some animal cells. But plant cells have cell wall outside the plasma membrane, hence microvilli is not found in plant cell. It can be found only in animal cells. Size. Generally, plant cells are larger than animal cells and animal cells are smaller than plant cells. So these are the differences between plant cells and animal cells. There are many more differences, but these are the basic differences between plant cells and animal cells. Now we will see differences between plant cell and fungal cell. Both are eukaryotic cells and many characters are similar. Both have many similar characters. Besides these similar characters, there are some differences. The first one is The cell wall of plant cells is basically made up of cellulose. Cell wall of plant cells is basically made up of cellulose. Besides cellulose, it also contains hemicellulose, pectin, lignin, etc. But the cell wall of fungal cells is chiefly made up of chitin. Cell wall of fungal cells is chiefly made up of chitin. Plant cells store carbohydrate in the form of starch, and fungal cells store glucose or carbohydrate in the form of glycogen. So plant cells store glucose in the form of starch, and fungal cells store glucose in the form of glycogen. Plant cells which are green have chloroplast, and they synthesize their food by the process of photosynthesis. This food is distributed to other cells of the plants which are non-green. But fungi are saprophytes, hence the fungal cells absorb materials from dead and decaying organic matter. So these are the basic differences between plant cells and fungal cells. In this video, I have described different types of cells, that is prokaryotic cells, mesokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Types of eukaryotic cells, that is plant cell, animal cell and fungal cell. Differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Differences between plant cells and animal cells. Differences between plant cell and fungal cell. If this video is informative to you, like and share my videos and subscribe my channel. Thank you.